Book. Tiffany, do you have the book by chance? Did you ever get the PDF downloaded?
No.
You didn't? Okay. So let me put stuff. So I think somebody entered the waiting room. Yeah. All right. So uh Tiff, you're on your iPad, right?
Yeah, I'm on my iPad.
Okay, go to the let me show you where to go real quick. I'm gonna share my screen. And today we can I'm gonna do it with my camera off since I'm not at my office setup. So you're gonna go to the Telegram group. You're gonna come over to trading mindset audios and PDFs, and you are going to select the bottom one, the mental game of trading.
Okay.
All right. So that's gonna be the one that we are going over. For those that are watching on YouTube, I will put something in the chat that you guys can read later with how to get access to the mentorship group. But today is just a recording for everybody to watch for later, to go back as well, to maybe pick up on things that they missed. But we're gonna go ahead and and dive into the mental game of trading. I've actually started this book. This is actually a very, very good read. I have a lot of other books, but this was the one that kind
Uh,
of jumped out to me at first when I first got it. So um here's a question for everybody. Why do you think most people give up in trading? Why do you think most people give up in trading?
it's probably the mental part of it.
Hmm. Yeah, it's hard. Like take a couple losses, right? Whether big or small, what begins to happen? You begin to doubt yourself, right? You start to think, man, I don't think I could really do this. Man, how are these people making money, but I'm losing money? And it's just the negative thoughts just continue to run wild. How many of us have ever been there before? Right? A lot of us. I know I have when I first started. But I did see the light at the tunnel, right? I made $4. I made $5. I made $8. I made $10. I made 15. I made 25. I made 50. Eventually I started making 100, 500, so on and so forth. So what do you think changed for me? What do you think changed for me? Was it my mental, or was it just me wanting to stick it out and say, hey, I started this, I'm gonna just see it through the end? What do you think changed for me?
Your mental.
Right. So if you make up in your mind that, hey, I'm gonna stick this out, eventually what's going to happen is your habits are going to change. You're going to be more disciplined, you're going to be more consistent, and you're going to figure out how you can build a system that works for you. That's another reason why people quit, because they find themselves bouncing from what? Strategy to strategy without having a solid foundation, right? Now, when I was in IM, I hopped from strategy to strategy, right? The very first strategy that I learned was the teacup strategy. Then it went from learning strategies to learning patterns. I started following Orrin Wright, learning about, the head and shoulder pattern, the inverted head and shoulder pattern, right? So shout out to my two coaches, Coach Orrin and Coach Lozado. Also shout out to Stevenson Lindor, who taught me how to find other patterns like the bullish flag, bearish flag, wedge patterns. Manny Quinones was also recognized for, pattern recognitions and, using different indicators like the moving averages. So, all of these systems, and I had to try to figure it out. But you know what they all had in common? They all talked about market structure. Very, very subtly. But Oren and Manny specifically was like, hey, once you learn market structure, trading is going to get real easy for you. So that's what I started to pay attention to. That's when I started to see like, hey, as they're doing their markups, right? As they're marking up their charts, okay, Makai, okay. As they're marking up their charts, what's beginning to happen? What do you think happened for me, Makai? Once I started to understand market structure, what do you think happened for me? Or better yet, here's a better question. What happened for you as you start to understand market structure and applying it? Are you able to see the trades and build a little confidence in yourself in taking trades?
Yeah.
Hmm. So just like it happened for you, it happened for me too. I was able to go from catching $4 to now catching $400. Go from catching 10, 20 pips to catching hundreds of pips, not only in a day, but within a week and a couple of days. So I say that to say this. If you can fix your mental game, you can do this. But you have to first figure out what system is going to help me fix my mental game. So that's where chapter one comes in. Notice what the little subtitle says. Emotions aren't evil, they're signals to use and learn from. Why you need a system. So let's look at chapter one really quick. Um, it has a quote from Albert Einstein, and we're just gonna kind of like read bits and pieces of it and talk about it, right? And talk about Cliff Notes. So like I highlighted a lot of things that I took away from it. I would suggest you guys do the same. And again, I don't want you guys to think like this call is to judge you because you guys are on a journey just like I went through a journey. However, you guys can learn from the mistakes that I made. That way you don't have to go over those same hurdles. But here's what you're going to be able to do. Let's say, you approached the same hurdle that I did. Now you have the tools to successfully get over that hurdle. Now you have the tools to build a system that is going to work and also build the confidence in yourself to move forward in your trading. So Albert Einstein said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Right. So your goal is to make money trading, but something is getting in your way. Again, some of those things that can get in your way is FOMO, fear, greed, not trusting your analysis, not using market structure, And most importantly, not following your rules. Okay. Or maybe it's some other things on the outside. As you guys can hear, I have a son, right? I have a family. So maybe it's trying to find balance with trading, work life, family life, spiritual life, whatever the case may be, right? So I say that to say this: is trading hard? Yes, it is. But you gotta make time for what you want to make time for, right? You have to. Because the only way that you're going to see the results that you want to get is by just doing it. That's it. You just got to do it. 30 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, an hour a day. Start somewhere. All right. So let's continue reading. Maybe you lose money when you shouldn't, or even you consistently make money. You leave profits on the table. The question is why? Ooh, that's another key sentence. Okay, Makai. Okay, that's another key sentence. So I stopped leaving money on the table. Now that I trade gold, hey, when I'm in profit and I'm up 75 pips or 100 pips, what do you think Mike is going to do? What do you think I'm going to do?
Secure some profit.
I'm taking some profits, right? So let's take a look real quick. Gold had a nice little shoot up. Take profit, took some profits off the table. Take profits off the table. I already hit my daily goal. So here's another question. Are you setting a daily goal for yourself? What you have to ask yourself is, did I hit my daily goal? If the answer is yes, what are we going to do?
Quit trading.
Quit trading for the day. Quit trading for the week. Get ready for next week. Why? Because the market is going to be here next week. There's always an opportunity to trade. So if you don't write anything down, write that sentence down. If I make money or if I made more than I was expected to, if I hit my daily goal, I'm done for the day or done for the week. There's no pressure now to try to force trades. There's no pressure to go back and forth with yourself on, oh, do I trust my analysis? Do I see what I need to see in the market? Just take your profits, right? And look, we now the ball is rolling. We moving in the group. Everybody is grabbing their profits. You know the type of trader that you are. Yes, I do like to swing trade, but at the same time, my mentor told me, and Oren and all the others said, "Hey, when in profit, you take that profit. There's no shame in your game if you're taking money out of the market, right?" So let's move on to the next paragraph, right? And again, we're talking about people who are not consistently making money from the market. So we're going to ask the question, why? Well, we already said it. They're not taking profit when in profit. They might not be following their rules. They might not trust their system. Three biggest things. You'll most likely look at your technical analysis first. That's obviously a critical step. But you also analyze trades, you tighten your rules, you learn new techniques, develop your own system, do more research, test new strategies. Despite all of that work, the bleeding continues. So maybe the bleeding is continuing for you. What can I do to stop the bleeding? Well, first, we're going to drop down really quick to where it says that's not to say trading is all about psychology. It's not. Even a perfect mental game, emotionally balanced, always focused, consistently in the zone won't make you profitable long term. If you don't have an edge in the market, if you have an edge in the market, you aren't making what you should or are struggling with greed, fear, anger, confidence, or discipline. Your mental game may be costing you more than you realize. So again, just to reiterate, what does this start with? Us and our mental game. If we are off balance, off focus, it's gonna be very, very hard. I'm here to tell you guys. I've been there, you know, series of losses. Don't believe me? I'm all about transparency, right? Yes. Do I catch pips? I do. But guess what I also catch? What do you see?
Losses, but not nearly like the losses I take. Let me tell you that.
No, but hey, but look, losses, 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 and a couple wins. But what's the difference? What's the difference? What is
The wins are
strong?
bigger than the losses.
The
The
wins are
amount.
bigger. The amount, the wins, when they come, they come. But what else do you think is stronger? What else do you think is different? Do the losses define me?
No,
No. Why? Because one, I believe that I am a good trader. I believe that I'm a good trader. Two, I stick to my rules. I only lose when I do not stick to my rules. Okay. I only lose when I do not stick to my rule. I win when I stick to my rules. What's another reason why do you think I'm still here, even after losses? What do you guys think? What's another reason why I'm here? Do you guys think I'm still here because even after
we
losses?
believe in trading.
Yep. I believe that this is going to be my way to become financially free. So what I don't have to worry about what money. Do I have enough to take care of my family or the things that I need to take care of? My why is what keeps me doing this. So what you have to ask yourself is why are you doing this? That's what you got to ask yourself. Why am I doing this? So now let's look at the most costly errors in execution. It says one, forcing mediocre trade setups. I'm a victim. Guilty, guilty. Exiting trades too early. I am guilty of that, right? Now, it is safe to exit trades, too early because you don't know if the market is going to reverse. So, Ty, what did I always tell you to do? Set a what?
That's your goal.
Set
What
your
your pip
goal.
goal is. Mhm.
Set what your pip goal is. Now, what is a realistic pip goal for you? That is a question for everybody. What is a realistic pip goal for you? Hmm? You can put it in the chat, or you
Oh,
can
you
you
want
can
the
type
answer?
you can
Okay,
type that.
50 to 75 pips.
Okay, so let's say 50. So let's say the market gave you 35. What you gonna do?
Well, I'm moving my stop in profit. I ain't gonna just catch a
How,
loss because it's
by how much? How many pips are you gonna secure?
if it's going up 35, I'm at least up 25 because I'm expecting it to go. I want it to go 50.
I love this. That's the answer that I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for right there. So you set a goal, right? the market is moving, and it approaches the zone that could possibly reverse from. Hey, let me go ahead and secure some profits. Did you not walk away with some profits for the day? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
There it is right there. That's the difference. Why? Because now Ty has a system that says what?
That
What
as
does
the
Ty?
pips go up, I mean, I got a 50 pip goal, but if it's up to 25, we're securing some profits. We ain't
That's
gonna wait for
that.
it to turn around on us.
That's it. Maybe you found yourself chasing the market. Hey, listen, guilty of that. We saw that last week with GJ, right?
Right.
Jazzy kept hitting that zone that we was looking at, and some of us would have said, "Yeah, we're going to take that sell." Some of us was looking for the buy. We're not about to chase the market anymore. So at first I got into the habit of chasing. Now it's like, hey, I'll let the market just come to me. Okay.
It's less
Um.
stressful.
Yeah, it is. So here's another one. Moving stop too soon. This is where the fear comes in. Like you place the trades, you probably over leverage, and now you're trying to move your stop loss to, shorten the sting, right? Of losses. Hey, look, if that's what you're worried about, come down on that lot size. And then talking yourself out of a good trade. We all fall victim to that. I can remember GJ was going from like 150 something all the way, and GJ was pushing up, right? And I remember being on Clubhouse because this is where it happened. I was in for a buy. Somebody came on Clubhouse. Man, GJ is about to fall. It's about to fall. I'm like, bro, DJ is on a bullish trend right now. Now, granted, where he got in at was a selling opportunity, but it was a pullback. So guess what? Guess what happened? I took myself out of a good trade. Guess how many pips it fell?
And
It fell a little bit over 10 pips. It fell 25 to 35 pips. And then can you guess what happened next?
it went in your direction.
It went shot all the way back up another 150 pips. So how do you think I felt?
Mad as hell.
Exactly. Why? Because I talked myself out of a good trade and allowed somebody else to dictate what I was going to do.
Done that many times because I believed that they knew more than what I knew. So I was like, okay, they've been in the game longer than me, so they got to be right. Let me change what I'm doing.
Right. And again, this makes you question yourself. But again, as you spend time in this market, your understanding deepens and you start seeing some things a little differently. You cannot allow what people say dictate what you do. You have to be solid where first in, in your mental. Makai. You got to be solid in your head first. You have to. Trading is like a sport. Trading is like playing sports. And if you like sports, I want you to think of the best athletes that you know. You guys can hear Makai in the background?
It's okay.
Let me see if I can change my headphone settings real
No,
quick.
good. But yeah, the same thing that just happened to me today, as far as what you're talking about. So I don't know if you saw it, but Coach went live on IG today, and he was talking about a trade on Bitcoin, which he was looking for the sell, I was looking for the buy. So
Hmm.
yeah, same situation.
Yeah. And look, it's going to happen, right? It does happen. Both trades can play out. Both trades can play out. But again, this is about you and nobody else having that conviction. Get what you can get and then just get out of the market. Okay, so I do got noise cancellation on. All right, cool. So if it happens to the best of us, guess who else is going to happen to?
Everybody
Little
else.
old everybody else. And that includes little old me, right? Little old me. So for those on YouTube watching, yes, I'm talking to you as well. So here's the most important thing. I did not highlight this, but it is right before what's highlighted. Don't beat yourself up over this. How many of us beat themselves up because they're not seeing the results that they want to see in trading?
I'm sure everybody.
Everybody, right? Listen, you guys don't know how many times I hear people say, I'm about to quit trading because this it's just not working for me. They don't see, you ever seen that picture on Instagram where you got two guys digging for diamonds? One guy is like literally maybe a couple of feet away from hitting the diamonds, and the other guy, he's digging, but he puts his axe down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't be that person that puts it down.
Whew.
You don't know how close you are,
Been going too long.
right? You don't know how close you are. So again, this is why setting goals matter. Realistic, obtainable, and measurable goals. Now, how long does it take to hit a goal? Until you hit the goal. Until you hit it, that's how long it's going to take. You don't say anything to somebody who's going to school to be a doctor. Hey, how long are you in school? 4, 6, 8, 12 years. You don't say, dang, that's a long time. You not gonna quit? No. Why? Because they're a doctor.
They put in too much time
They put
and
in too
money.
too much time and money. But why do they want to be a doctor? So again, your mental has to be strong. Don't let outside influence dictate your every move on the inside. Don't let yourself be easily influenced by yourself or those closest to you. So, part of the reason you haven't eliminated your execution errors is that you didn't know what you were up against. I wish somebody would have told me what's all involved with trading, right? I've heard stories. Like I had an uncle, he got started with trading and he lost like $1 million.
Did he keep going?
Nope, he stopped. So
And
what's
then
the
of course
lesson?
he's telling you, oh man, I tried that. That ain't gonna work for you.
Exactly. No, well, my mom told me that it's not going to work
Oh,
for me. So how do you think that made me feel? Where do you think that put me?
it definitely discouraged you.
Discouragement. Why? Because one, my mom doesn't know that I still make money from trading. She doesn't believe in it. It's it's too much of a risk, right? And I love my mom, right? I do, but I do not listen to anybody who tells me that trading does not work. One, if you ain't did it, you just don't know. We speak two different languages. And I just don't talk to my mom about trading anymore. Thanks to prop firms, I'm able to what? Leverage other people's money. So I don't have to use my own money. So here's another question. If you don't have the funds to trade, one, here's some options. You either save and put money to the side, or you get a prop firm account. But understand, if you blow that prop firm account, you do have to pay for another one. But don't do that without having a plan. Don't do that without following rules. Don't do that if you can't afford it. So I say all of that to say this. Just like trading follows a basic set of rules, so do you. You have to follow rules. So that's why I like the term mental game to describe the mental and emotional side of trading. The word game automatically infers rules and strategy for how you improve versus a one and done solution. In this book, you'll learn a practical step by step system for correcting the most common emotional issues in trading, which are what? Which are what? Greed, fear, anger, overconfidence, and last but not least, low con- low confidence. How many of us have experienced low confidence in trading?
Everyone, and you kind of got muffled just then.
I'm sorry. Okay, can you guys hear me now?
That's better.
Okay, so how many of us have ever experienced low confidence in trading?
Everyone.
Everybody. I hope you don't mind me using you as an example, Ty. Is that
It's all
okay?
good. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I want to have a conversation with Ty for a brief second. So Ty, let's kind of talk about your experience, right?
Okay.
Tell us, what did you experience with
Uh,
trading so far?
I went through a lot of ups and downs, a lot of lessons, a lot of losses. I mean, I lost $60,000 in a matter of, I don't know, less than 6 months, trying different prop firms, not following the rules. And then, when I finally did win two prop firms, they both went under. So I didn't get any of the money, but I'm still pushing ahead. I'm doing it now. Now I'm more confident. Even when I have losses now, I do view it differently than I did before. Before I was crushed, I was ready to quit. But I too
Mm-hmm.
see this as my way out because I work a lot and I am sick of working.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you remember the conversation that we had? Like, do you think your confidence was at its all time low, or did you think like you were really just all the way done with trading?
I mean, I took some time off. Like I think that we didn't talk for like a couple months because I was really not sure because I done invested a whole lot and to get nothing out when you invest a whole lot. And I mean, $60,000 may not be a lot to some people, but that's a lot of damn money. So I was
That's a
really discouraged.
that's somebody's salary.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
somebody's salary. No,
Yeah, I
sir.
was
That's a
really
salary.
discouraged. Yeah. So I was low. And then, we had another conversation or two. And I remembered that, this is it. Other people are making it. Why can't I make it? I can do it. I just got to keep pushing forward.
Mhm. Now, you remember I also shared my story with you too, right? So
Right.
you see how Ty shared her story with you guys. What I love about what I love about people is most people when they go through something, they always think it's only just them. So Ty, do you remember that conversation? What were some
hmm
things that I kind of told you about me?
You told me you kind of went through the same thing. You had some losses, you got discouraged, you pushed back for a little bit. But again, same for you. You remembered your why and you got back in it. And look at you now, you're teaching, coaching.
Hmm. So remember, y'all, if you ever feel like you're the only one going through this,
You're
I'm here
not.
to I'm here to tell you you are not. Find a successful trader and ask them, was there a moment in your trading career that you felt like giving up? And guess what they're going to tell you? Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
They're
let
going
me
to tell
tell you, I was
go
so
ahead.
discouraged and just desperate for some kind of solution that I got caught up, wasn't thinking right, got scammed out of thousands of dollars, like crazy stuff. But if I had been thinking right, I wouldn't have got caught up in there. But I was so desperate for something, just an inkling to show that I can do this.
Hmm. So that's why I'm here to tell y'all. One, y'all are not alone in this journey. What y'all go through, I've already been through. Others have gone through it, but guess what's the difference is? They got out of it. They got past it. That's why I believe in having a solid somebody who is a transparent individual as a mentor is what matters. Because when they hear you vent about what's going on with you, here's what they're going to show: empathy, concern, patience, empathy, concern, and patience. They're going to
And
help you to.
let me share one more thing,
Yeah, yeah,
Michael.
go ahead.
And another thing that got me, I thought the biggest, baddest guru was going to help me. They're doing it. I can see them doing it. They're making lots of money. But they're not just making lots of money trading. They're making lots of money other ways, and those other ways prevents them from giving you the time and attention you need to help you grow. So just because they're the biggest, baddest one you think that's really doing it, they may not help you do it. So be careful in your choosing.
So I say that to say this: find somebody that you not only resonate with, but that you can say, no matter what, if I call this person, they're going to reply back to me. If I text this person that I'm having issues or anything, they're going to send me words of encouragement. They're going to check on me. They're going to make sure I'm doing fine mentally. They're going to hold me accountable, but they're also going to help me put together that system to get over these hurdles. They're going to help me see, like, hey, if you stay consistent, you set your rules, you hit your goals, now you're going to see that turnaround. It happened for me. So again, I would like to shout out to my mentors, Jeremy Webb, John Owens, my I am educators, Manny, Oren, Lozado. I appreciate them. Now, I might not have 10 people's numbers, but I still remember the videos from that I watched. I still have messages from Oren Wright. I still reach out to my mentors, John Owens and Jeremy Webb. I don't think you guys know, but like even the strongest people need encouragement. I say that to say this. There was a point in time where going through things outside of trading. Not only did I want to give up, I thought about suicide.
That's
I
brave
did.
to admit. Thank you for sharing that.
I did. But as you guys can hear in the background, I got something to live for. I got a family that's dependent on me. I'm going to make it. I don't care how long it takes. As long as I stay solid and do what I need to do, I'm gonna make it. I don't care how long it takes. I'm gonna make it.
Maybe too.
My why is what keeps me going. And I wish I could share my camera, but I'm gonna try to see my son jumping all around and everything. But there's tears coming out of my eyes right now. And I wasn't expecting to share this with you guys. I really wasn't.
It's encouraging. We appreciate it.
But I really want y'all to hear it in my voice and say, look, I'm here to help you. I know the journey. I know how it can be, but you can make it. You can. You just gotta sit down, start from scratch, and figure out, hey, what's going to help me make money out of the market? There's thousands of strategies out there. There's 1,000 ways to make $1,000. Find your way to do it and stick to it. You don't have to be 100% making money. You can make money at 30%, having a real rate of 30%, have a win rate of 60%. So we're talking about system, right? So throughout this book, you're going to read some of their stories in the book. Their experience may provide some of their most important lessons. At the time of writing this book, they were working on what exactly what I would expect because there's no magic to this system. And let me tell y'all this: there is no secret sauce. There is no, oh, this strategy is just top tier. This is what works. Putting in the work, understanding your strategy and your system, and following rules. That's why people get to where they want to get to in their life. That's why they're making the type of money that they see because they have a system that does it for them. So emotions aren't evil, they're signals to use and learn from. So next week, this is where we're going to pick up. Next week, this is where we're going to pick up. Chapter one, emotions aren't evil, they're signals to use to learn from. So what we're going to do next week is, again, I'm going to talk to you guys about my journey. You can talk about your journey as well. And we're going to figure out, okay, what were some of those emotional signals? And to kind of give you a preview, one of Makai, calm down. Come here, son. One of the emotional signals, I will place trades, they hit stop loss. What do I do next? I will place trades, I would hit stop loss,
Revenge trade.
I will revenge trade. Now, what does that do? Start revenge
Always
trading.
made me lose more money.
You end up losing more money. That's an emotional signal. So here's what I did. I started to journal. Why why did I lose? And at first, it was because I did not understand market structure. I didn't understand when the market was about to reverse. I didn't understand how certain tools like the RSI or the indicators, I could use those tools to see certain things in the market. I didn't understand the bigger picture at the time. I didn't know if the market was at an area to potentially buy from again or potentially sell from. Maybe it hit a supply zone, maybe it hit a demand zone, right? Maybe it hit a fair value gap, however you want to call it. So that's what we're going to talk about next week. How to identify those emotional signals, write those signals down. That way we're prepared for the next time. So if you lose a trade, guess what you can do? Close the app, journal, get ready for tomorrow. Okay, so remember, we're talking about revamping our system, revamping our mental game. How do you do that? First, you have to identify what issues you have. Second, what you have to do is make a decision on, will I allow FOMO or revenge trading to be me as a trader? All right, so those are going to be some things that we talk about. So now that the mindset call is over, let's pull up some chart. Let's get ready to do some markups. The market should be open now. Market should be open now. So again, this is where we're picking up uh next Sunday. Emotions aren't evil. They're signals to use and learn from. All right. So hit done. We're gonna pull up some charts. I'm gonna share with you guys what I got, and then I want you guys to kind of have your charts pulled up so you can kind of go through your markups as well. So let's pull up. I'm gonna pull up my trade locker, and I'm gonna pull up my prop firm account. Actually, no, because I have it all marked up on my live account. So GJ. Okay. Ooh, wow. Do y'all see that? That gap?
Crazy.
Oh my gosh. So, what does it look like it did from last week? Do you think we revisited an area we were buying from last week?
What gap?
You don't see this gap on the chart?
Mm-mm. I just looked at it a minute ago.
Hey, I
I
got
don't
a
know what he
huge
see, but I see. Yeah, me too.
yeah, I see a huge gap right here, bro.
Let me pull it back
On
up.
Wednesday, there was a long wick down to the downside, and it still ended up selling back down again. But it looks like that's where it was trying to go to, but it's coming back up now, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, that hurt. Also too, it depends on the broker that you got. So it
I
might
was
not
about
be
to
a
say.
gap for you.
Yeah, I see it now, but yeah, on mine is not my chart is back. My market is at the top, at the bottom. That's interesting.
Okay, so yeah, different brokers have different accounts. All right, so
I'm on
let's.
Forex. What broker are you on?
I'm using my KOT Forex.
Right, but on TradingView, are you on the
Oh,
one that's for
no,
Forex
no,
or?
no, I was on my
Oh,
trading account. Yeah, yeah.
okay,
So on TradingView, I'm on Forex.com.
okay, all right.
So yeah, that was a huge sell down. So yeah, that was man. If you're looking for a sell right there, that would have been whoo. You would have you'd have been in some serious profit. So it looks like what it came back to our what zone? That zone we were looking for potential buys, right? Buys from last week. So that zone is holding strong. It's holding strong. So now we got to do is wait to see if price comes back to it and retest it again, or or will we? Makai, no, you cannot have that. So it just reacted off of this high right here, right? See what I'm pointing at,
Yep, I can see it.
and then it dropped. So the only way I would say I'm bearish is if we start to break below these zones, close, pull back, and retest, and continue to move like this. That's the only way I would say we're all the way bearish.
Okay, now I got the gap. Oh, that's crazy. That just happened
Yep.
because a minute ago the marker was at the top. Now I see the gap at the bottom. That's crazy.
Hmm. So let's look at the 4 hour. Yeah, I'm still watching those zones. I'm still going to be watching these zones. The two blue zones here and here. Those are going to be the areas that I watch. Um, I don't trade Sundays anymore.
Really.
Yeah, I don't trade Sundays anymore unless I see an opportunity. I'll take it, but I don't like trading Sundays anymore. I'll rather wait. So I'm gonna kind of go through my rules real quick. What is the obvious prevailing trend? I would say bullish. I would say bullish. We just reacted off of this previous shot that's over here. So I would make this a different color. And I appreciate y'all sitting through and hearing Makai in the background. He's just excited to be playing and whatnot. So I'm about to play with him once I get done with you guys. We're gonna play
Hey,
around
he's your why. That's okay.
before I go play or go to work. All right. So this was a huge, huge, huge teacup as well. Now I know y'all hear me talk about teacups. Don't worry about it. I'll try to give you guys some pointers on how to find them. But this was a huge teacup. So the start of a teacup, you have to have a bullish candle, followed by a bearish candle, followed by another bearish candle, right? So it's like having. Let me show you guys the rules too. And this is, you don't have to use this as a strategy. I'm just showing you guys what I know. All right. So what I see. So let me see. Where is it? I don't think I have it in there. I think it might be in the Telegram group. Let me see. Okay, yeah, here it is. Teacup strategy. Here it is. So when I'm looking for a teacup, I'm looking for the first candle to be bullish, second candle to be bearish. The third candle must be a lower high or lower low candle. So that's what I saw. That's what I saw here. And I'm going to put a arrow where the bullish candle is, followed by the and you'll see the two bearish candles that that I had, right? So this is the bullish candle. So this will be your what? Is that a lower high?
Yes.
It's a lower high, right? Like it's lower than this high here and this high here. All right, so this is called an advanced teacup because you have more than two red candles. You got one, two, three, four candles. So this would be the cup. Now I'm gonna just talk about get back to just structure, right? This is just where I see the nearest lower high was. This was the nearest lower right here. So this would be the tea. This would be the cup right here. So typically, when a teacup is formed, you're looking for price to hit the resistance level and to drop. So how many times did price touch that level and drop? Right. So it does it there. Okay. Uh, it does it. It does it here as well. You see where the areas that I'm deleting. It does it there as well. So it retested here under a wall. What did it do there? Once it retested that pink zone,
It dropped.
it dropped, right? And then it comes back and retests again, and then it dropped again, and then it came back again, and then it dropped. So what do you think that tells me?
A strong zone.
Strong zone. Strong zone. Right. So I can't look for a buy unless price does what?
Break and retest.
Break, close above, pull back retest. So am I bullish? Yes, I am. But on the daily time frame, take out all of this stuff. On the daily, if I box in, I box in where I have that arrow at. I box in where I have the arrow edge. What will we say this looks like between the pink zone and the blue zone?
Consolidation zone.
Yeah, consolidation slash transition. So this is what I'm waiting for, y'all. I'm waiting for either a retest of 198,334, 198,119 to see if we get more rejections to go back up, or to see if we do what? Break the not only break the zone, but also break the trend line, pull back retest to continue down.
I like it because either one could happen right now.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, either one could happen for sure. Either one could happen. So because it's like this on a daily, like I said, it's Sunday, going into Monday. I'm not going to look to do anything tonight. I'm more so setting alerts and just waiting. Okay. Now the the indicator does not call like all higher lows, right? So where I have this arrow stopped at, this is the next area that I'm watching, right? Um, this area right here. So now all I'm doing is just highlighting my pullback zones,
That's a good zone.
right? And then I'm also highlighting another pullback zone. So my pullback zones on the daily are always going to be like gray or like a color. And then I'll just write down whatever color it is and why I put it there. I like this area too, because this was a nice inverted teacup too. So the inverted teacups is the opposite, right? You go from you go bearish candle, bullish candle, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? So this is what makes a bullish teacup like an inverted teacup. So like if I'm looking for buys, when I say inverted teacup, that means I'm looking for buys. If I say a regular teacup, I'm looking for sales. Now teacups happen all the time. Just like, oh, a bearish market happens all the time, bullish market happens all the time. Yes, it does, but because that's what I started learning first, that's all that I see, right? I see patterns, I see structure, but this is just this is how I learned how to trade, right? And then I just make my bullish teacups a different color. So now I have my trap set. I've trapped the market, as Coach Oren would say. So now I just gotta find my other zones for where I can see price pulling back to. So everywhere I see like a gray zone, that just tells me like these are potential areas where the market could possibly drop down to and possibly reverse from. So now I'll go to the weekly. All right. So the same scenario. And so you see how we broke a previous lower high. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this one off. Previous lower high here. Look at how long it took to break that lower high. And see how it retested and then dropped. Retested, drop. It retested and then it dropped. But look at who is in control from down here. So what does this tell you? What do you think this tells you?
I was still bullish all that
Yep,
time.
it's still bullish. Now there were selling opportunities that would have just been short-term sell opportunities, right? So pull back for the week. The next week we went back up for 2 weeks, went back up. So now we're just waiting to see how this candle closes for the week, right? I pull up the Hakanasi candles. I look to see if we have what? Bullish momentum. So on the weekly, we do have what?
We have bullish momentum.
We have bullish momentum. The candle that we're on right now just is not longer than the last week's candle. So for me, all I'm doing is saying, hey, the weekly shows me the bigger picture. All right. So we're bullish. I'm kind of just looking for what? Buys. Go down to the daily. The daily candle has a wick with what? For Hakanasi candles. Wick on top, wick on bottom, which says what?
Indecision.
Indecision. So what am I more leaning towards to doing? What do you think?
Waiting for the buys.
Beautiful. What about the 4 hour? What am I doing? Now you said waiting for buys. That is true, but now we're looking at it from time frame to time frame. What do you think I'm doing on the 4 hour? Take out the Hakanasi candles and look at the daily candles. What type of price movement is in between the pink zone and the blue zone?
Consolidation.
Yep, consolidation. So that means we do what?
Nothing. Or I mean,
We
I guess
s-
some people can do. They can trade the ranging motions. I'm just not that good, but I'm gonna hold off.
yep, set your alerts and sit and wait. Let's look at the 1 hour. Same picture, same story, still consolidating. So you're waiting for a retest around that blue zone to see what happens, right? Because you saw when after it hit from last week, when it hit the lower low, all it did was retest a previous low, and then the market went where? It went up. But then we broke that trend line. Now we're going right back down. We broke the higher low. So technically, this is a s- short-term sell opportunity. So remember, even within a bullish market, there are going to be what?
Sell opportunities.
Yep, sell opportunities. What you have to figure out is for how many pips. So if you scroll to the left and look left, watch what I do. I go from the low. So I'm gonna take this off real quick. And you see those previous lower highs? All I do is just find and zone them off. That's it. Zone every, zone all previous lower highs off. And then I just sit and wait. Set alerts, sit and wait. I let structure do its thing. I look to the left to see if price interacts anywhere. So the next area that I see would be here. So if I'm on the hour, I'm only worried about 1 hour structure. What letter of the alphabet do you see right here?
W.
All right. Now it's not a perfect W, but anytime the market leaves like that small resistance level, you can always expect it to come back and go up. So do we see this picture? Do we see what I have circled?
Yeah, there's another one right above it.
Mm-hmm. Do we see what I have circled play out on the right hand side?
Hmm.
It goes from a what? Lower, lower low slash higher low. There's your new higher low. Retest of a higher low. Retest of a higher low. I'm taking my trade. You see how I'm not going from another time. I'm not going to another time frame to find my entry, right? I'm only sticking to the hour because guess what? If it shows on the hour, guess where else it's going to show? What's the difference between the time frames? What is the difference between
There's
the
more
time frames?
candles, but is that a misconception then, where everyone says you need to drop down to the lower time frame to
It
get a
it
better
it
entry?
it is. It
Mm.
very much so is because you're not considering the most important factor, time. Time. Why do you think there are different types of traders? There's scalpers, there's intraday, there's swing, and there's position. Scalpers are not looking to get the big moves. They're only looking to get what?
Certain number of pips.
Yep. And they out. And they out. So let's go back and find that area real quick. See? Doesn't it look like that same little picture?
Yeah, just with lots more squiggly lines.
Lots more zones. So that's how I'm able to make that decision. Because again, understand the structure and I see price break and close above the gray zone, pull back and retest, and then I just sit and wait for it to come back and retest, take off to the upside. But you see how everything was marked up on the higher time frame and then it shows on the lower time frame?
Yep, I see it.
I like what one of my friends said. Corey told me, you're good with your higher time frame, but dude, if you can like use that 15
We
minute,
can't hear you.
can can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I could use the 15 minutes and I could find sister entries. It's just utilizing the 15-minute structure with in mind the higher time frame. Okay.
I
Keep
think
in
we heard
mind,
part of that. I think I heard I didn't start hearing you say it until you started saying the 15 minutes. So whatever you said before that, we missed it.
okay, so let me say it again. A friend of mine, Corey, said you're good with higher time frame analysis, right? But he said, bro, you can get careful, Makai. He said you can get tighter entries using the 15-minute if you just drop down and do the same thing that you do on the bigger time frames. Does that make sense? Market structure is market structure no matter what time frame you use. So if you're going to be on the 15-minute, you need to have rules in place. Does that make sense?
Yep, got it.
Because notice how price likes to come back to certain levels when you're on the 15-minute. So what you may think is an early entry is probably just a retest, and then it's going to take out. So your timing is the only difference. Your timing is just off. You're not giving the market time. So give the market time. Give the market time. All right. So, like I said, I'm not trading anything today. Um, I'm going to send my markups in the group chat. I'm going to mark up the hour, the 4 hour. You already saw what happened on the daily, and I'm going to kind of put some notes in there as well of areas that I'm going to be watching, and just kind of go from there. Okay. So again, I'm not trading today. It's more so of just marking up my zones, and that is it for today. Anybody
Awesome.
have
Thank you.
any questions? Any questions so far?
Oh, I do have one question. You had said
Yeah.
that you found a secret weapon in the fibs. Is
Oh
that what you have
yeah.
been?
So let me show you the field. Let me get Nakai out the room real quick so I can have a little peace and quiet. So give me 1 second. Here, Nakai. Go eat with mommy. Go eat with mommy real quick. I'll be out in a minute. So like if I use the fib, I use the fib, and what I'm gonna do is I just use the hour structure or the um whatever time frame that I'm on, that's what I'll use, right? So delete all drawings. So if I'm looking for a buy, trying to find a nice little area where I can place my fib. Swing low. So you see how I went from that swing low to that swing high? I would be watching either the 38.2, the 50%, or the 618. So you see how once it hit like that resistance level here,
Hmm.
it came right back down to the 50%, and then it shot right back up. So the take profits would be the 27, the -27, and the -618. That's where I would be taking profit. So like moving forward, I'm gonna show you guys if I see the fair play, if I see the fair play, I'm gonna draw it on the chart
Okay.
for us. Right. If I see the fair play, I'm gonna draw the fair play. And then I'm gonna show you guys the settings that my friend Corey gave me. And these are the same settings that Q Banks uses as well too. But you can utilize the regular fib as well. I just like this. I like this fib setting because it's a lot cleaner for me and it's easier on my
Okay.
eyes. All right.
Hmm. Hmm.
So like let's see if we can find another example. So swing low. Uh, I don't see another clean example. I just remember having that one on my chart. Actually, let me do this. Let me show you the ones that I sent to Corey. And I can get him added back to the group. So you guys, if you guys have questions, you can always, ask him. I like to I like to have some of my trader friends who do different things than me, but they don't mind sharing like what tools that they use, or like if they understand like a fair value gap, they'll explain it. Different indicators, they'll explain it and whatnot. Don't mind like they don't mind sharing that. So like what I'll do, I'll set up a call with Corey too to kind of show you guys the field play. But
Okay, great.
let me see if I can find Corey. Okay, here it is. So you see how I do the field. See how I do the fib. So what I'll do is typically draw the fib and send it to him and he tells me what he thinks. And see, okay, so on the hour Wednesday, so I drew the fair from the swing low to the swing high, right? And you see how price kept hitting that 50% level?
Mm-hmm.
198, 250,
Mm-hmm.
16, the 197, 903. I could have set buy limits there. But so I say this, I say, you see how I'm adding the fib, but I'm still doing how I trade because look where it lines up. So again, is it necessary for me to use the fib? Not really, because I have a solid foundation of understanding market structure. Remember, we always talk about what significant swing point, like your highs and lows, or obvious understanding the obvious prevailing trend. This just gives me the extra confirmation that I need. So let's see another. All right, so you see how I went from the swing low to the swing high right there?
Yeah.
And you see how price came back to the 50 between the 50% and the 618? I took that trade.
Okay.
I took that trade. That trade ended up hitting take profit. So probably tomorrow evening, we'll see if we have a fair play. All right. If you want
All right. Thank you
to,
so much.
I would say like if you want to touch up on your Fibonacci trading, I think this book is in the group.
Yeah, I think it is.
Let's just double check. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna see if I can get Corey on the call to talk about the Fibonacci tool. Okay, that's
Okay.
what I'll do for the next mentorship call on a Sunday.
Okay.
So let's check the group real quick. Media. Oh, let me go back to all media. I mean
Are you talking?
files. Yeah, I was trying to find this, see if the book is in here. All right, so the book is not in there. I will post it in there for you guys. Yes, it is right here at the top. So here's the book is in the group chat. Make sure you get the book, read over the book, and we'll practice it. Okay.
Appreciate you, big dog.
Yes, sir. Also, gotta give a shout out to my brother Malachi. He been killing the market with me. So
Okay.
if he
Congratulations.
if Malachi says something in the chat, make sure you guys ask questions as to why, so he can explain it to you.
Okay.
Malachi is a phenomenal trader too. He's been at it since I've been at it, and we both come a long way. So again, there are other traders in the chat. You guys can that you guys can use as a resource. Like they're like they're like the tutors of the group. You know, they can help you see things that you may not be able to see on your own. So don't be afraid to ask, hey, what do you see
Hmm.
that I'm not seeing? So
Okay.
again, don't be afraid to drop those charts. I know a lot of people are hesitant, but do it. Drop your charts.
Mhm.
This is what's going to help you. Um, it was done to us, so I got to do it to you.
Yeah.
That's how we got good. So
Yeah.
understand the reason why I have y'all do it is to benefit you in the long run. All right.
Okay.
So this will be available on my YouTube channel. I will post the recording in the group tonight, sometime tonight, to go back to review. Um, the next mentorship call is going to be next Sunday, same time, 4:30. We're going to do the mindset part for about 30 to 45 minutes, and then we're going to jump on the charts. as
Cool.
well. Yeah, I'll go ahead and close out. Everybody post your charts in the chat for today. I'll post mine, and then tomorrow, tonight, look for a message for me for tomorrow and about this week's schedule. I think I put it in the chat, but look for a message for this week's schedule for trading live wise. Okay. So appreciate you guys for jumping on. Those on YouTube, I'm going to put a message in the chat for you guys to get in contact with me if you need to. And I appreciate you guys for listening in. Thanks again. Going to stop the
Bye.
live.